A lot of false memes have been perpetuated by the media about the events surrounding George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. But the ball started rolling for this media fiasco when a very basic meme was introduced. Big white man kills little defenseless black child. It was this meme that would create the mindset in the public that would be the foundation for how they would evaluate all subsequent information on this case. That is the premise that I will address today. Let's begin with Big White Man. Why did the media assume George Zimmerman was white? 3 reasons. 1. The consistent idiocy by the police, FBI and other agencies of labeling Hispanics of mixed ancestry as white, regardless of their African or Native American ancestry. 2. George Zimmerman's last name. His father is a white American, so he inherited a European last name. So the media assumed he was white. This assumption completely invalidated Zimmerman's whole other half of his ancestry, namely, his mother. His mother is of Afro-Indigenous ancestry, much like Rosa Parks was. Only difference is that Rosa Parks actually had more European, namely Irish ancestry, than Gladys Mesa, also known as Gladys Zimmerman, does. Of course, the third problem is the bias that permeates the media when it comes to trying to find cases that serve their political ends. In this case, the media was looking for a case to frame their stand your ground law as racist, and at a first glance, this seemed like a picture-perfect white-on-black killing by a huge white man of a small black child who then claimed self-defense. The hypocrisy, of course, is that Zimmerman is no different than many other people of mixed ancestry who are never called white by the social media. The second part of the meme has to do with size comparisons. The media broadcast 2 images that would set the tone for the perception of most Americans. There was only one problem. The picture of Trayvon was of his 14th birthday, not when he was 17, and the picture of George was also old, dating back to 2005, when he was a lot heavier. It was easy to describe Zimmerman as this huge person, if you went by his weight in 2005, which was 250 pounds. But on the day that Zimmerman killed Martin, he weighed in at 200 pounds, while wearing his jacket and boots. At his eventual arrest, he would weigh in at 185 pounds, but his face had changed little. Except for the welts and deviated nose, of course. After a year in hiding, he would again balloon to a whooping 230 pounds. But, on the night in question, he probably was weighing around 190 pounds without jacket and boots. Martin was weighed, in his autopsy, as being around 160 pounds naked. With clothes he probably was around 165 to 170 pounds. That would make their weight difference less than the weight difference between a fat version of Zimmerman and a thinner version of himself. Many would still argue, based on the picture provided by the media, that Martin was still smaller, but Zimmerman was not a huge brute, and at 5'7", he hardly would have towered even over the 14-year-old Martin. And Zimmerman was a mentor to kids of that age and size, hardly one to be attacking them. It was Martin who towered over Zimmerman at 5'11", which is the same height difference as 5'7" Miguel Cotto and 5'11" Yuri Foreman. This can easily be verified by his autopsy report, as well as picture comparisons with people in common. For example, Martin's picture at 14 with his mother and a picture with his mother at 17. Let's explore using other people for comparison. Obviously, George Zimmerman wasn't a huge white man, but a short Hispanic of mixed ancestry, and Trayvon Martin wasn't a small child but a tall athletic young male who could, and did, assault George Zimmerman. And those were facts that the media distorted and led to memes that severely biased the American population against Zimmerman.